I feel so lucky. You wanna hug me?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 songs with disturbing lyrics.
Every smile you fake, every claim you stick, I'll be watching you.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most unsettling, strange, and/or creepy-sounding lyrics in music. Did we forget a song that freaks you out? Let us know in the comments. Number 20, Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon, Neil Diamond. No stranger to pop hits, Neil Diamond has made a career out of fantastic singles. This particular one focuses on a coming-of-age moment for a woman.
Love you so much, can't count all the ways I'd die for you, girl, and all they can say is, he's not your kind.
Considering that this comes from the singer's older perspective, it all sounds a bit creepy in hindsight. Diamond mentions that the girl is on the cusp of maturity while saying that he loves her.
I've been misunderstood for all of my life, but with the same girl just cuts like a knife. The boy's no good.
There's a gray area in the words that leaves this song to be open to interpretation. It's uncertain if this situation goes as far as being illegal, but the words make this apparent love story seem less than normal.
Girl, you'll be a woman soon.
Number 19, Animals, Maroon 5. While the band is likely working in metaphors, Maroon 5 still brings a dark edge to Animals that's hard to ignore.
So what you trying to do to me? It's like we can't stop, we're enemies.
The lyrics deal with a person so obsessed with love that they portray their relationship in brutal terms. In a constant state of turmoil, these lovers find themselves back together despite their toxic energy. Adam Levine also describes hunting down his partner like prey and eating her.
Baby, I'm playing on you tonight. Hunt you down, eat you alive.
When you watch the music video, this graphic imagery really comes through in violent terms. The pop song definitely doesn't mince words about the twisted mindset of its protagonist. It might be all for show, but there's still an undeniably disturbing feel to the words.
Just like animals, animals like animals.
Number 18, Blurred Lines, Robin Thicke featuring T.I. and Pharrell Williams. In the spring and summer of 2013, Blurred Lines was a sensation that couldn't be escaped.
If you can't hear what I'm trying to say.
The song also attracted tons of controversy for the writer's lyrics about gender roles. Robin Thicke throws around terms like domesticate and liberate, insinuating that women need men around to guide them.
But you're an animal, baby, it's in your nature.
Some called the track misogynistic, and others felt like it was just fluff that fueled a catchy single. Either way, there are still some choice lines from Thicke and T.I. that complicate things. It's difficult to sidestep the apparent meaning of the words, even if the technical elements of the production are on point.
Everybody get up.
Number 17, Winger. Before the end of glam metal, Winger came out with a catchy song that contains some questionable lyrics. 17 deals with a man encountering an underage girl and contemplating a relationship with her. The singer doesn't spend much time thinking things over, appearing to be all too eager to be with a 17-year-old. There's even the inclusion of her father saying that she's clearly too young for this guy. It's a hit that engages with a controversial subject without ever stopping to consider the larger implications. Other tracks might try to hide their creepiness, but this single seems to revel in it.
She's only 17. Daddy says she's too young.
Number 16, Pumped Up Kicks, Foster the People. Breaking into the mainstream with this hit, Foster the People attracted headlines for their topical lyrics.
Rob's got quick hands. He looked around her and won't tell you his plan.
Pumped Up Kicks has all the buzzy energy of an indie pop single with a focus on gun violence. The band is able to juggle these two opposites with confidence, telling the story of a student that seeks revenge on his classmates. It's a plot with several real-life inspirations in recent American history. With an upbeat delivery, the singer tells the listeners about a disturbed individual that feels even more relevant as the years go by. This earned the track a more controversial reputation in the US. Number 15, Sail Away, Randy Newman. In his early singer-songwriter days, Randy Newman confronted difficult subjects in unpredictable ways.
In America, you get food to eat.
His track, Sail Away, talks directly about one of the more taboo topics of its kind. Using the point of view of a slave trader, the main character issues a false promise to people heading for a new world.
Sail away. Sail away.
It's a song full of ironies that feel applicable to the injustice of today's world. Full of sadness, the real meaning behind Newman's words speaks to one of the worst chapters in human history. It's a heavy theme that's poignant and profound in its depiction of slavery.
We will cross the mighty ocean into Charleston Bay.
Number 14, Luca, Suzanne Vega. Using a folksy blend of rock, Suzanne Vega crafted a musical gem from the 1980s.
My name is Luca. I live on the second floor.
The serious plot concerns a boy named Luca that grapples with mistreatment from his family. Clearly referencing physical violence, the singer paints a picture of abuse in the titular character's life. The saddest part is that the child blames himself for everything.
Maybe it's because I'm crazy. I try not to act too proud.
Setting itself apart from other songwriting of the era, this track chooses to engage with an issue that many artists shy away from. It's ultimately a devastating story that makes us reconsider an important topic from a kid's perspective.
Just don't argue anymore.
Number 13, Excitable Boy, Warren Zevon. An underrated songwriter from the 1970s, Warren Zevon wrote satirical songs that weren't afraid to be outrageous and even humorous.
Well, he went down to dinner in his Sunday best.
Excitable Boy is one such track that follows a young man's violent journey to adulthood. Early lyrics detail his eccentric behavior before going on to explain the character's awful crimes. All the while, the hook keeps talking about how people write him off with the titular phrase.
He took in the 4 a.m. show at the Clark. Excitable boy, they all said.
Things take a very dark turn despite the happy piano and vocal performance. Zevon's words might be shocking to some, but they also create a story that's entirely unique for its content.
Well, he's just an excitable boy.
Number 12, Every Breath You Take, The Police. Among the more famous songs of the 1980s, Every Breath You Take is well known for its lyrics about a jealous man.
Every breath you take.
Sting pulls no punches in describing the worst impulses of a person consumed by his former lover. This includes behavior that can only be described as stalking, with the narrator saying that they're watching their partner's every move.
Oh, can't you see? You belong to me.
It's a complicated tale of a controlling personality that doesn't conform to the usual cliches about love. Instead of creating a typical narrative, the songwriter delves into the kind of relationship that should be avoided at all costs. Number 11, Closer, 9 Inch Nails. With complete intensity in its every second, Closer by 9 Inch Nails can terrify listeners that aren't ready for its darkest depths. Singer Trent Reznor presents a murky tale about lust that's equal parts disturbing and X-rated. The harsh lyrics leave nothing to the imagination with their sexual content, making many other rock songs sound tame by comparison. Reznor's tone of voice turns this track into a deeply unsettling look at desire and love. Containing some of the most raw and alarming word choices in music history, this 1994 single is not for your casual listener. Number 10, Seasons in the Sun, Terry Jacks. Thanks to the very bright pop sounds in this big-time 70s hit, it's easy to think of the song as purely a happy reflection on life. Despite its cheery sound, however, the lyrics tell a story of death and passing on.
Please pray for me. I was the black sheep of the family.
Each verse describes a loved one who the dying narrator is leaving behind, whether friends, parents, or lovers.
Goodbye, Michelle, my little one. You gave me love and helped me find the sun.
This catchy interpretation of Jacques Brel's Le Moribond, which is considerably darker than even this version, helped it top charts around the world.
Adieu curé, je vais mourir. C'est dur de mourir au printemps, tu sais.
As Elton John famously sang, sad songs say so much. Number 9, 13, Big Star. 13 is ostensibly a loving and tender song about childhood innocence that has inspired power poppers for decades.
Won't you tell your dad, get off my back?
Legendary singer-songwriter Alex Chilton insisted that the song is written from the perspective of a 13-year-old boy who's falling in love. But though he claimed the song is about naive childhood, many have suggested it's actually about having inappropriate relations with underage girls.
Would you be an outlaw for my love?
Lines like, "Would you be an outlaw for my love?" even suggest the song's sinister undertones. Alex Chilton also questionably once dedicated the track at a concert to Michael Jackson, when Jackson was facing criminal accusations. Joke or not, that was not cool.
I won't make you.
Number 8, Father Figure, George Michael. Given how much interpretation and personal experience can affect lyrics, the late, great George Michael was definitely inviting controversy when he wrote Father Figure.
That's all you wanted. Something special, someone said.
Many of the lyrics suggest a boundless and paternal love that will last forever. The complicated part, however, is the song's clear focus on sex, which makes all of its youthful references seem, well, criminal. Michael even says in one part of the song that love can be mistaken for a crime. In George's defense, there's plenty of evidence to suggest his daddy, preacher, and teacher are more of a sexual role play. Though Michael's love may be lawful, he certainly leaves you guessing. Number 7, Run for Your Life, The Beatles. The Beatles drew plenty of inspiration from Elvis and based Run for Your Life on a line from his song Baby Let's Play House. John Lennon focused on the words, "I'd rather see you dead, little girl, than to be with another man," and built around that sinister tone and content for his track. Lennon's narrator goes on to admit how awful he is and threatens his partner with murder repeatedly.
And I can spend my whole life trying just to make it toe the line.
The song was so disturbing that Lennon later called it his least favorite Beatles track, and one he didn't spend much time on. The song is all the more horrific considering how blatant its message is.
You better run for your life if you can, little girl. Hide your head in the sand, little girl.
Number 6, Alabama song, Whiskey Bar, The Doors. This cover of a Kurt Weill, Bertolt Brecht show song is a strange and dark track by The Doors, filled with polka, drinking, and debauchery.
We don't find the next whiskey bar. I tell you we must die.
Even the early verses about whiskey bars show a level of alcohol dependency that most would consider worrisome. It's when singer Jim Morrison screams this line, however, "Show me the way to the next little girl," that the track becomes scary.
Show me the way to the next little girl.
Along with the implications of drunken underage sex, the desperation in The Doors' delivery is just as haunting. Needless to say, this track grows creepier the more you listen to it, particularly since the original was sung from the perspective of a group of sex workers. Number 5, Brown Sugar, the Rolling Stones. Though Mick Jagger slurs his way through the lyrics of Brown Sugar, a keen ear reveals the song is about slavery and sex. The opening verse is particularly brutal, as it describes slaves' journey to America and a relentless whipping from a slaver. Jagger goes on to describe how good his African-American partner tastes before crooning just like a young girl should. While each of these lines is individually repugnant, placing them back to back is even worse. Considering the layers of misogyny, colonialism, violence, and other issues present in the song, it's no surprise Mick has continued to censor the lyrics live. Number 4. Wrong Way, Sublime. Here's a sublimely depressing song.
The only family that she's ever had is her 7 horny brothers and a drunk ass dad.
Annie is a teen girl, soon forced into sex work to support her drunk father and awful brothers. When the song's protagonist steps in to help her, he realizes that leaving her job will make her life an even bigger challenge. Though the man tries to be good to Annie, he too objectifies her and uses Annie for his own pleasure. They run away together, but it doesn't last.
She'll give you all that she got to give, but I'm gonna make it hard to live.
Despite its peppy music, Wrong Way is not only sad, but grimly realistic. The band's bassist maintained it was based on a true story. What makes it truly depressing, however, is how even the good-intentioned acts make things worse.
Give her all that I had to give, she still wouldn't take it. Whoa, no.
Number 3. He Hit Me and It Felt Like a Kiss, The Crystals. Iconic songwriter Carole King once saw her friend Ava covered in bruises after a weekend with her boyfriend. Ava explained her partner hit her because he loved her, so King and her husband wrote "He Hit Me" to highlight her delusions.
He hit me, and it felt like a kiss.
Despite positive intentions, the song comes off as disturbingly pro-abuse thanks to the production of Phil Spector, who decades later was convicted of murdering a woman. Even the Crystals have said they felt weird recording the song, especially since Spector insisted they sing it sincerely.
But he hit me, and I was glad.
The offensive content kept the song from selling well, and many radio stations refused to play it. Number 2. Lemon Incest, Serge Gainsbourg and Charlotte Gainsbourg. Before her own musical and acting career really took off in the 2000s, Charlotte Gainsbourg sang on a track with her famous father Serge. Lemon Incest is about a love between a father and daughter who lament that they can't pursue their desire for each other. The lyrics were even more scandalous because, well, let's see. Charlotte was a teen when it was recorded, and Serge and Charlotte were also father and daughter themselves. The suggestive music video featuring both Gainsbourgs doubled down on the provocation and sure didn't ease the claims that the song glorified multiple offenses. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Where the Wild Roses Grow, Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds and Kylie Minogue. Nick Cave sure loves his traditional murder ballads. But the Australian bard himself wrote Where the Wild Roses Grow to tell both sides of a brutal story.
That grew down the river all bloody and wild.
The track opens as Cave quickly romances Kylie Minogue with her haunting refrain in the song, "They call me the Wild Rose, but my name was Eliza Day."
For my name was Eliza Day.
He almost almost immediately becomes the first man she ever loves. But as the story agonizingly plays out from both characters' perspectives, within days, Cave takes Kylie out to the river to kill her.
The wind lied as a thief, and I kissed her goodbye. Said all beauty must die.
As poetic and haunting as the song may be, it's a supremely disturbing tale of love turned deadly.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.